Welcome, new supporters, Shane and Shadow Tree. Your support is much appreciated. Hello, travelers. Boardman21 here today. Another build for you. This one from Patches, and what he has done is taken advantage of the Holy Trail node inside of Javelin, which applies a dot on the ground that's based on lightning and fire damage over time. But the main key point about it is that it stacks multiplicatively with damage as you stack healing effectiveness. On top of that, we're also taking advantage of time reversal and Abyssal Echoes to have 3 more different modifiers that do more damage for enemies taking damage over time. So when you hit an enemy with Volatile Reversal, and then with Abyssal Echoes, and then with Holy Trail, it absolutely just annihilates them. As you can see in the gameplay playing before you, you can take out Empowered Orbis in just seconds. Now, the max amount of damage that I was able to get on the training dummy was about 1,000,000 damage with this, and that's with no exalted gear, just again stacking a ton of healing effectiveness. Now, the other good thing about stacking healing effectiveness is that the Holy Trail also heals you for a flat amount of HP, which is scaled with healing effectiveness, which allows us to just stand in it, and while enemies die when they hit it, for us, we get healed. So let's go ahead and get into the skills, the interactions, and just how it all works. For skills, I'm running at Javelin, Holy Aura, Volatile Reversal, Abyssal Echoes, and Sigils of Hope. For Javelin, again, we have this set up to take the Holy Trail and to reduce the mana cost down to nothing. So we have 3 points in Mighty Delivery for more damage and attack speed, 2 points in Serrated Javelin for armor shred chance and duration, 3 points in Excellence Balance for the -9 mana cost to make it free, 1 point in Burning Strength, 5 points in Spear to the Thigh for 100% more damage over time modifier, big more modifier there. 1 point in Holy Trail. This will give you the fire and lightning damage trail. When you throw it, it also puts a 4-second cooldown on it. However, that cooldown is actually 3 seconds. It just hasn't been updated in the build planner yet. But it's now a 3 second that got fixed in a hotfix. And then with cooldown recovery speed, you can actually get down to 2.6 seconds. So you get to do 1 attack every 2.6 seconds, but the damage over time lasts for 6 seconds. So you have plenty of time to just stand on it and do extra damage. It can feel kind of bad when you only get to throw it once every 2.6 seconds. But again, it's going to one-shot anything that it touches. So just try and kite mobs to run across it. 1 point in Path of Judgment. This is the big node inside of it that gives you the damage. It gets 1% more damage per 1% of healing effectiveness, and you can stack a ton of healing effectiveness. And 4 points in Pilgrimage, which gives it more fire damage and lightning damage, multiplicative with other modifiers. So 3 different more modifiers inside of the tree, which we will then synergize with other more modifiers outside of the tree. For Holy Aura, we've got 2 points in 𝐓𝐢𝐬𝐷 Devotion and 2 points in 𝐓𝐲 Fury for the fire penetration, 5 points in Burning Blows for global fire damage, 5 points in Shelter from the Storm for elemental resist and endurance, 2 points in Vital Boom for more health regen, and then that's to unlock the 4 points in Redemption for more healing effectiveness. For Volatile Reversal, this has 2 more modifiers that make you do even more damage with Fire Trail if you hit an enemy with Time Rift with it, which has a pretty big area, so you just have to reversal somewhere close to the enemy. Those 2 big damage modifiers, one's on the left and one's on the right. We have 1 point in Incipient Void Rift, 3 points in Disintegration, and then 3 points in Time Rifts, so that enemies will take 60% more damage over time. Then towards the left, we have 1 point in Terminal Void Rift, 3 points in Dark Expanse, and 3 points in Harbinger of Dust, so enemies take 30% more damage. Both of those multiply together to where you'll be doing almost 100% more damage with the skill if you've hit them with a Time Rift from Volatile Reversal. Then to finish her off, we got 3 points in Time Sap, 1 point in Time Loss of Vitality, 1 point in Catching Up, and 1 point in Traveler's Fatigue. For Abyssal Echoes, again, this is being used to buff your damage. You're going to get damage over time, make enemies take more damage over time, armor shred, and you're going to have a nice big area. So we got 5 points in Deep Expanse for a huge area increase, 1 point in Vorpal Reverberation for some spell void damage, 4 points in Embrace the Darkness, so when you use it, you'll get the Nether Coating buff for 4 seconds. This will give you 100% more damage over time, along with 20% increased attack speed. And then we have 2 points in Turbulence, 1 point in Myopia, 1 point in fragility, and then 3 points in crumbling for another 24% more damage multiplier for enemies taking damage over time. And then we have 3 points in rippling corrosion for the 3 stacks of armor shred to be placed on the enemy that are hit with Abyssal Echoes. And then for Sigils of Hope, we're just using this for defense. It will give you increased damage, but it's also going to stack up a lot of healing effectiveness for you as well. We've got 5 points in Empowering Sigils, 1 point in Last Wish, 2 points in Iron Sigils, 5 points in Enduring Hope, 1 point in Tetragram, 1 point in Meditation. This increases your health regeneration, which is not the same as healing effectiveness. We have 5 points in Invigorate, which does give us the 30% increased healing effectiveness per sigil active, so another 150% right here if you have all 5 sigils, or as we have it, which only has 4, it's 120% more healing effectiveness. That's going to be 120% more damage with your Holy Trail. For passives, we have 26 points in the Sentinel class with 8 points in Juggernaut, 8 points in Fearless, 5 points in Armor Clad, 5 points in Valiant Charge. No points in the Forge Guard. We do have 10 points in the Void Knight. All 10 points are in Abyssal Endurance to give you health, Void Resist, Physical Resist, but it also unlocks the Volatile Reversal and the Abyssal Echoes for you. And then we have 77 points in our Mastered Paladin class with 8 points in Conviction, 8 points in Defiance, 10 points in Valor, 7 points in Holy Symbol, 10 points in Dedication, 2 points in Prayer, 8 points in Faith Armor, 12 points in Reverberance of Duality, and 12 points in Light of Ra. Alright, for items, blessings, uniques, and idols. For the idols, there are some 1x1s you want with healing effectiveness on them, and 2x2s that you want with increased healing effectiveness on them. Both of those are going to be your best in slot, as that healing effectiveness, again, is a more damage multiplier. And you can get almost 400% if you have really good rolls, over 400% on just your idols alone. That's huge. For items, there is one unique. We are using a trophy, which doesn't have to be used for the build, but it is a pretty big damage boost since it does give you the up to 25% penetration against all resistances for damage over time. In this case, that penetration would be against the fire lightning type that we are doing. Then for items, I am running a two-handed sorcery staff. The reason for a staff is that Holy Trail is a spell, so it gets double added damage effectiveness, and we're going to be adding adaptive spell damage to make the base damage of it go up. The other thing you want is it is a dot, and it is an elemental dot, so it scales with both increased damage over time and increased elemental damage over time. So you can throw those bad boys onto a two-handed staff, and it's going to be much more effective. On top of that, if you just have an exalted item with tier 6 or tier 7 of either of those two stats, it's really going to give you a nice boost of damage. I'm just going to hover over the rest of these real quick. Again, we're stacking healing effectiveness on basically everything, along with elemental damage over time, and that's all you need. This build planner will again be in the description below, as well as the written guide, so that you can mess around with it. For blessings, there are absolutely no blessings required for this build, so go ahead and take whatever blessings you want, whether it be defensive or offensive. Either way works. For this build, we have the blessing that gives us increased fire damage from Spirits of the Fire, which is the only one that's actually boosting our damage. Alright, for the character sheet, as you can see, we have almost 3,000 health. Our resistances are almost capped. We're just a little shy on poison and void. You can get the poison in Holy Aura if you move 1 point around and take the 20% that's in there. We got about 30% armor, no dodge, and then for damage types, you can see we've got 286% increased damage over time. It doesn't show elemental damage over time on here, but we have some around 400 to 500% of that. And then we also have about 230% lightning damage, as well as almost 300% fire damage. A lot of that comes out of the passive tree. For defense, we're not quite capped on critical strike avoidance, so definitely try and get that capped. And then we're almost capped on endurance as well. Alright, and then for how to play the build in the skill rotation, it's really straightforward. I like to put Holy Aura just on autocast. Just every now and then cast a sigil, make sure that you've got 4 of them active. And then for the maximum damage, all you want is Holy Aura to be active, use a Time Rift, use an Abyssal Echoes, and throw out your good old trail. And you can see that we're doing massive amounts of damage here. And if you time it all perfect, you'll get well over 1 million damage, like right there where we had a 1.2 million damage tick. Again, huge damage. All you have to do, hit things, boom, big damage. It's absolutely crazy how much damage it does. And again, You can stand inside this trail, you can stay on one side and kite mobs into it. The moment that they touch it, they're basically going to be disintegrated, and while you are on it, you're being healed for about 300 health per second, which is huge and going to keep your life full on top of the health regen or leech or whatever else that you have for the build that you work into it. Overall, it's a very fun build. Again, the AoE of attacking, not that big, but you can just keep running through an echo and just throw out a trail and have everything that's running behind you just instantly be disintegrated when they run into it. On top of that, it absolutely just melts bosses. It's not really an arena build. You could probably push it in there, but again, not meant for the arena. It's more of a single target boss killer and an echo kind of speed runner, even though we don't have a movement skill. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, stay safe, travelers, and enjoy some gameplay.